Welcome to Live with Impact. I'm Angela Brown and I'm here with Omuugn. We are reading from the Insights and Wisdom of Omuugn. And if you have not taken a chance already, this is a perfect opportunity to go ahead and pick up a copy of it. This is volume 1 of volume 2. So please help me welcome Omuugn. Hey Omuugn, how are you today?
Hey, I'm really fine. How are you?
I'm very good. When you speak of love and you speak of the different types of love, one of the interesting but consistent ways that you taught us as children to love others was to first love ourselves. And it was through the form of having positive attitude, positive affirmations, and there was a physical hygiene component where Omuugn would go through and make sure that we cared for ourselves. And so growing up, we were taught that once we love ourselves, we are in a better position to love our siblings, our parents, and then other people that enter our space. And that was a consistent action that happened throughout my entire childhood, which I really appreciate because that then transcended into my business as a business cleaning owner, where I was then instilling the same exact beliefs in the people that would then show up to clean other people's homes. That we felt that if we presented ourselves in a clean manner, that then that would translate to the job that we were doing. So tell me where it was in the beginning that you decided that it was not just a belief system to be consistent with, but daily actions.
When we started out, we didn't really understand all of the processes, but as we learned things, we tried to implement them in our family. We were always in the process of learning new things. At the beginning of the year, we have a tendency as a nation to look at that time as making New Year's resolutions and things that we're going to do during the year. There are some people who don't really follow through with those resolutions. They make them sort of haphazardly and mindlessly. They recognize somewhere in their being that they should exercise more and they should eat better and that they should avoid some of the addictive things that are not good for us. And maybe they even recognize some bad habits that need to be changed. But then during the course of the year, those things fall by the wayside. They're pushed into the back burner on the stove. And after a while, we realized that we could use the same ones over and over again every year because we really didn't accomplish them the year before. We need to be aware. In fact, that's one of the core values is mindfulness, being present in the moment and being aware of our thoughts and our feelings and our actions, holding ourselves accountable. We want to try to be as consistent in our lives as we possibly can be to be consistent with our core values. And love isn't the only core value, by the way. Our spiritual growth is a core value. There's someone greater than we are. Deity is recognized in all cultures. There's something that we aspire to. There's enlightenment that we aspire to. There's sort of a putting together of your life in such a way that it's meaningful, that you have purpose and that you accomplish things. That's a core value for everyone to get better and to progress and to keep learning and growing and developing in all of our qualities. There's also the aspect of being in harmony with nature. We're aware of all of the pollution and the things that man has created that violates what we would like nature to be. Nature is pristine, and the world has its own way of cleansing itself and taking care of itself. We challenge that in so many ways by dumping pollutants into things thoughtlessly. We are consistently not connected with nature, and so as a society, we need to be consistent in nurturing our environment and being in harmony with the natural systems that take place. For example, we're finding new ways to recycle things. Man has a great idea to build windmills to create his own energy. And after so many years, we have all of these big windmill blades that nobody knows what to do with that are past their useful prime. They're taking the windmills down, and now we're having big stacks of windmill blades going into landfills where they're not going to break down because of the materials they're made of. And so we've created another thing that needs to be dealt with. We do that in so many different ways, like with plastic. Plastic is so convenient and we use it for so many things. After it's used, what do we do with it? It's starting to build up in our landfills and pollute our oceans and our waterways. We need to be consistent in looking at causes and effects. If we're going to do a cause, what is the effect downstream? And how is that going to impact our lives, our communities, our families? So we need to be in alignment with the kind of person, the kind of community, the kind of nation that we really want to be. Because if we're not consistent with those values, we just run amok and cause problems instead of provide solutions.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Our time is up, but one of the strongest messages that we've heard yet so far on the Live with Impact channel, which is about consistency in the choices that we make and how if we actually make those choices, it is something we do have control over and it's something we can attain based on the consistent behaviors repeated over time. And you've lived your life as an example to show us that it's something that's actually doable. So I commend you and I thank you for joining us. We meet every week so that we can unpack with Omuugn himself the different elements that will help us become the best versions of ourselves. Until next time, have a great week and live a life with passion.
Thank you. It's been fun.